2020 would have been the biggest year of my life even if it hadn't been for a global pandemic. So with a pandemic, it's safe to say 2020 has been a year. To share with you my highest and lowest moments of 2020 because I really have experienced some of my highest of highs and some of my lowest of lows this year. This year really has kind of changed the direction of my life. I mean, I started the year not knowing where I was going to university, and now I'm kind of going to college on the other side of the world. And so many things have happened this year apart from college. Like, college is not the biggest thing I'm going to be talking about in this video. There's so much else that has happened. So I'm really excited to share these special and very personal moments with you and give you a little bit more of a glimpse into my year, because some of these things I haven't shared on this channel yet. I just want to preface this video by saying that I am so grateful for the 2020 that I've had and the opportunities that I've had this year despite the pandemic, because I know that there are so many people in this world for whom the pandemic has really severely negatively impacted their lives, and I am luckily not one of them. I am very lucky to have been able to do quite a lot of things despite the circumstances. So I just want to say, oh, my hands just made a very strange noise. I just want to say I am very, very grateful for that, and I really empathize with everyone who has had a tough time in 2020. So I'm going to go in chronological order, starting with the start of the year and going to the end of the year. That's what chronological order is. And I've picked 7 high moments and 7 low moments, and as we go throughout the year, like, I'll start with, you know, the first moment and we'll just go through all the moments. So 2020 started on a high. I actually started the year right here where I am right now, which is crazy to think about, because when I left here at the start of 2020, I didn't think I'd be back here for another 5 years, but circumstances have aligned in such a way that I am. I started the new year January 1st. I was here on the Caribbean island of Bequia. Happy New Year, everyone. I was here with my mum and my sister, and on New Year's Day we had a flight. I think it was like in the middle of the day, and we flew to England to stay with mum's family in England. And I'd never been to Europe before. I'm actually a British citizen through my mum's side because my mum is a British citizen. She was born in the UK, and so I am, but I'd never been to England before, so it was really cool to go to England for the first time and meet all of mum's family. And me and my mum and my sister went on a road trip around the UK because her family and friends are kind of in lots of different locations in England. We are on our road trip. This is the second day of the road trip, so we're going around and we're staying in a different place every night, and we're just basically seeing different people and seeing different places. Today we are on the road to Bath, and on the way we're going to drive past Stonehenge. So we went on a road trip and we saw so many cool things. You know, the things that you've only ever seen on a screen or in movies. I saw them in real life, and I also got to meet my family and my mum's friends, and I also got to spend lots of quality time with my mum and my sister, and this was such a special trip, and I just had an amazing time. So that is definitely starting off 2020 with a high. Wow. Oh, is it another flapjack? Flapjack. Oh my gosh. I feel like we should get a flapjack. 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 Seriously? Magic does not want us to turn into a balloon. How about we have a Cornish pastry as well? Oh, actually. Also, at the end of our trip, my mum and my sister had to come back to Australia because my sister had to start school, but I didn't have to start school because I was not starting university then. So I didn't have to come back to Australia, and we luckily weren't paying for accommodation in the UK because we were staying with family. So I just didn't come back to Australia. So I stayed on for an extra few weeks in the UK, and each day I would go out and I'd explore a different area of the surrounding suburbs of where I was staying, or I would go on the train. I would catch the train into London and I'd walk around and explore different areas of London, and I did it all on a very, like, Oh, there's a mosquito. Oh, it's so big. Oh, it's so big. Oh. I did this all on a very tight budget. All I was really paying for was the train tickets. I wouldn't pay to go in anywhere. I would only go into free museums or free places. And mostly I'd just like walk around. I would do my research the night before of where I was going to go, and I'd walk around to parks, to free places, and the only things I would pay for is if I ate something, then I'd pay for that. Normally I tried to bring lunch with me, but if I didn't, then I'd like eat a little bit out, and then I just pay for the train tickets, and that was all. And I was staying with family, so it was free. Oh, and I also had a bike with the family that I was staying with. They lent me one of their bikes so I could cycle around some days, so I didn't need to catch the train. So anyway, I just got to stay on in London or in England for an extra little bit of time, basically for free. I am someone who I love being by myself. I loved being there with my mum and my sister. Like, don't get me wrong, I had such a good time, and I wish they could have stayed on with me as well. Like, that would have been my preferred option. But I also did love being there by myself, and it was my first time kind of solo traveling. Like, not really, but kind of. Like, I was exploring each day by myself, and it was just so much fun. So yeah, that was basically the whole of January, so that was a pretty good way to start the year. Moving on to the second moment of the year, which was also a high, and then we get into some lows. Lots of lows coming up. But the second moment of the year was also a high, and it's kind of a two-in-one. So it was winning the state 5K and then also the Bunbury Geograph gift. So I flew back from the UK and arrived in Australia less than 48 hours before the state 5K championships. Now there's, I think, an 8-hour time difference between the UK and Perth, and it was a direct 17-hour flight. That's one of the longest direct flights in the world. So I'd just been on a plane for 17 hours. That is a painful flight, let me tell you. So I was on a plane for 17 hours, and obviously completely in a different time zone, and it takes a while for your body to adjust to that big of a time difference. And anyway, I arrived in Australia less than 2 days before the state 5K champs, and I remember thinking, I am not going to run well. And also it was winter in London, so I was running in like 0 degrees Celsius weather there. There was ice all over the ground, and then I come back to Australia and it's the beginning of February, so it's boiling hot. And yeah, I wasn't backing myself completely for this race, and it was my first time I'd ever run a 5K on track, as well as the first time I'd ever done a 5,000 meters on track. Oh, and because we'd been away for the whole of the summer, this was my only chance to qualify for nationals in the 5K. So anyway, I obviously turned up at the race and did my very best, and I ended up winning the state 5K championships. So I was the 5K state champion, and I actually ran a really good race. I ran a very controlled race, and I ran a very strong race, and there was this girl who was like right behind me, but I did this really good kick in the last 200 meters, and I out sprinted her and I won. I was very much in control of the race the whole time, and I paced myself really well, which is pretty good because 5K, like, that's the longest I've ever run on the track. Before that, I'd only ever run 3K on the track, and 5K is 12.5 laps, so it's quite a long time to kind of try and pace yourself. But yeah, I won that race, so I was really happy with that, and I did really well. And then a couple of weeks later, I had the Bunbury Geograph gift, and I won the open mile race at the Bunbury Geograph gift, and that was a really cool event to win because it's a gift, so you actually win prize money. So that was pretty cool. And I remember I drove down to Bunbury by myself. Like, it's quite a big drive from Perth. I don't know, it was like 3 hours or something. I drove all the way down by myself. Can you guys hear the rain? I just went and checked the clouds, and hopefully it's gonna pass in a second. Okay, it's still raining, but it's like very quiet, so I'm hoping you can't hear it. Hopefully I don't have to refilm this. Anyway, continuing my story. So I drove all the way down to Bunbury by myself. I ran this race. I drove all the way down for one race, and then I like spent the whole day there like watching all of the other races. But yeah, I won the race, so I was really happy with that. And I was really happy all the way home, and I drove all the way home by myself, and I was just like, woohoo, go me. So yeah, that was my second high of 2020, and now we come to the lows. Oh, I just realized I didn't include on my list turning 18 as one of my highs. Actually, well, no, that wasn't really that exciting, to be honest. I did turn 18 this year as well on the 17th of March, 2002, St. Patrick's Day. So, what? That's my birthday, so then I turned 18 on St. Patrick's Day 2020. Happy birthday to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I am 18 today, an adult, finally. Legal, adult. Didn't really change anything for me because I don't drink alcohol, so was a bit of a non-event. But anyway, my first low moment now comes up. It is COVID related. So this was right when COVID very first hit. It was around the middle of March, just before the middle of March, and it was kind of in the middle of March that COVID really hit in Australia and we went into a big lockdown. So our national track and field championships were planned for, I think, the last week of March or towards the end of March. They were a whole week and I was so excited because normally these championships for me were obviously during school, so I would just like fly in, do my race and fly back out. But this year I didn't have school, so I was going to go for the whole week. I was going to go by myself for the very first time. I was going to stay in a hotel by myself for the whole week. I was going to stay in a hotel right next to the track. I was going to stay in the Quest, if you know, you know. And I had 2 races. I was doing the 5K and the 3K, and the program for me was so good. It was the best. It was like the 5K was on the earliest possible day it could be for me, and then the 3K was on the last possible day, so it got like the maximum possible rest. So the program was so good, and I was so excited because I'd always wanted to go for the whole week of nationals because it's the best atmosphere ever. I absolutely love it. It's such an exciting atmosphere, and I'd always wanted to go for the whole week, and I'd never been able to, and I was finally going. I can't even tell you how excited I was for this. Like, this is my dream. This was my dream. I was beyond excited for this. And the week, like less than a week before I was due to fly out for nationals, it got cancelled because of COVID. Now I know in comparison to lots of other people's problems, this pales in comparison, absolutely. It's nothing compared to some people's problems, but like I prefaced this video saying, my problems this year were nothing compared to some people's problems, and I'm very aware of that and very grateful for that. No! Tia, the meteorologist, has just done another cloud check, and it looks like it's gonna be raining for a while now, so I think I'm gonna have to like come and finish this video. We only just started it. Okay, I just had a snack and it stopped raining. I know it's gonna start again, I know it is, but we're just gonna continue. Okay, so like I was saying, I know that like I am very lucky that one of my lows for this year was not being able to go to nationals, because that's so much better than a lot of other people's lows. However, I'm just talking about the lowest part of the year for me. So that was one of the lows, not the lowest of the lows, but I was really sad for a little bit, but it's like a different kind of sadness to some of the other kind of sadnesses that I had this year. The next moment of 2020 is also a low, and this was due to family circumstances and just some things that were going on, partly due to COVID, partly due to lots of different things. For a period of time around March, April, there were 4 family members living in a 2-bedroom apartment. This apartment was really small, 2 bedrooms, and then 1 living area and kitchen combined, and so some of us were sleeping on the floor, and I never had my own personal space, and I am like someone who really needs my own personal space, and so this was a really hard period of time for me because I just didn't have my own personal space, and we were so squished into that place. And I remember sometimes I would just take our car, well, it was my mum's car, I don't have a car, we just had 1 car. I would take the car and I would just drive just anywhere, just so I could be in my own space. So I would just go for a drive just so I could be by myself, and I remember multiple times I was just driving and crying like at the same time, so that was a good time, you know. Like I said, oh no, that was a different video that I was saying this in. I just filmed a different video where I was saying how one of the, kind of the way that I've always been, the way that I let out my emotions is I just cry. I cry all the time, I cry a lot. It's just the way that my body likes to express its emotions. So yeah, that was kind of a low point of the year just because I literally had no personal space. The next moment of 2020 was also a low, and then we get onto a high. A very good high, I think you guys can probably guess. So my next low of 2020 was not being able to go and see my dad because of COVID. So originally my plan for this year was to come home from England and come to, because if you guys haven't been following my channel, my parents are separated. So my mum lives in Perth and my dad lives in Melbourne. And if you're not from Australia, it's about a 3.5 hour flight. So it's a flight between Perth and Melbourne. You can't, well, you can drive, but it would take like a week. So yeah, my parents live on different sides of the country. Plan for the year was to spend the first couple of months of the year in Perth and then go to nationals in Sydney and then go to Melbourne and then stay for the rest of the year until I went to university with my dad. So I was supposed to be staying with my dad for a long period of time because I hadn't stayed with him the past 2 years because I had been living in Perth with my mum. My parents only split up a couple of years ago, but I'd been spending the last 2 years in Perth with my mum doing year 11 and 12, so I wanted to spend the time before I went to university with my dad, and COVID hit like just before I was going to go and stay with him, and so I couldn't go and see him, and now I haven't seen him in over a year, and I'm not gonna see him in probably like 2 years because now I'm on the other side of the world and not going home anytime soon. You're going viral right now.
Is that it? It's actually the professor.
What? No.
He just came
in and he was like,
so glasses.
Yeah. Noel's just made a very risky dash across the road. Ah, no! This always happens to me. I'm just too road safe. That was really, that was probably one of the lowest moments of the year for me, because I have such a good relationship with my dad and I love him so much, and I know he's watching because he watches all of my YouTube videos and he is so supportive. So I love you very, very much, and I miss you very, 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 very much. So yeah, that is really tough for both of us. I haven't been able to see him in over a year now. I didn't get to see him before I went to university, so the next moment of 2020 is a high, and I think you guys can probably, or you would have seen this one coming, and that was getting into college. So I got into Yale University. I feel like the way I say Yale, I know I say Yale in like a weird Australian accent. People comment on my TikToks about this all the time, but I don't know, I can't help it. Anyway, I got into Yale University in the US. Oh my god, I got into Yale. This was a really good moment for me because I finally, not only was I really proud of getting into a university that's quite hard to get into, I think it has like a 6% acceptance rate or something, which is pretty low, but also I was just really happy to finally know where I was going for university and to finally have my plans for university like set in stone. I know where I'm going to be for the next 4 years, because up until this point I had no idea. I thought I was going to university in Australia. I didn't think I was going to university in the US, but I didn't know. So getting into Yale was really exciting, but also it was kind of a relief because I finally had my university or my college plans now set in stone. So that was a really exciting moment, one of my highest of highs of 2020. But then it did kind of lead to the next moment of 2020, which was a low, and this was slowly realizing that I wouldn't be getting the college experience that I thought I would when I applied. Originally when COVID first hit, we were all like, oh, you know, how long is this going to last? I don't know, it's probably going to be over fairly soon. But then as it went on, we were like, actually no, it's not going to be over fairly soon, it's going to be around for a while. And then as it went on and on and on, we were like, oh dear. And especially because my college was in America, I started to realize that I wasn't going to be getting the college experience that I thought that I would be getting when I applied. You know, the typical college, because college is such an exciting time. All of the stuff that you see in movies, like that kind of really does happen, but it didn't happen for me. And when I first got into Yale, I was so excited for all of that stuff because COVID had only just hit. But at the back of my mind, I was thinking, what if this isn't over? And then that became a reality. While I was so happy and grateful to be going to Yale, and like I don't want to sound not grateful. It's really hard to express how I'm feeling without sounding ungrateful. It did make me sad, and when I finally got to Yale towards the end of the year, which we'll get to in a minute, I remember I was sitting on the grass talking to some people, and they were saying apparently we're only getting like 33% of the Yale experience, and that was when I was on campus. I was getting 33% of the Yale experience, and I originally couldn't get to campus, and that was something else I was worried about. Like if I can't get to campus, I was getting literally like 5% of the Yale experience. That was something, and it was something that was just like constantly playing like in the back of my mind, because we didn't know what was going to happen with COVID because it was so uncertain. So that was something like I was so excited to get into Yale, but then am I going to get there? So that was kind of a really drawn out low, and then the low of realizing that I'm not going to get the freshman year that I had kind of dreamed of turned into a low of trying to decide whether or not to take a gap year, or whether to go to campus, or whether to stay in Australia, and then realizing I can't even get to campus. And there was just like it made the start of my college experience very different and just not how I expected. So that was kind of like a drawn out low. The next moment of 2020 is a high, and this is one of my favorite standout memories of the whole year, and it was going down south and camping with my friends. I had such a good time. I am like the luckiest person in the world to have this amazing group of friends, and I only kind of became friends with them in year 12, so in my last year of high school. They are the nicest group of people, like every single one of them. They're all so nice, and we all went down south. There's actually a vlog on my YouTube channel of this. It's one of my favorite videos. I love that vlog so much. So there was just over 10 of us, I think, and we all went down south and we went camping for 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights. Yeah, 4 days, 3 nights. And we had so much fun. It was, oh my gosh, we did so many things. We explored beautiful places, we had fun, we had campfires at night, we played Survivor, like actual Survivor, like we had our own thing of Survivor.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ruby and Eleanor have lied to me.
I stood barbecue for 15 minutes after they'd left, cooking that chicken.
Did you instigate those moves?
I put my soul into that chicken.
And I'm
Not cool.
And I love spending time with my friends. They're all such amazing people, and I just absolutely loved spending that time. Like I was constantly with them for those 4 days, so it was so much fun. And I remember coming home and being like, I don't want to be home, I want to go back camping. Did you sleep last night,
I had a really good sleep last night. I was actually quite warm. Slept in my track pants.
Awesome.
I got woken up at 6:45 by kookaburras.
Oh yeah.
It was maybe one of the worst moments of the night.
I have a question. How do you feel about being in the top 5?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Sadly, I will be Tia's competitor. Yeah, they're turning their toes. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's fine.
We're gonna die.
Owen's probably criticizing my drive. Okay, we're going.
We're going for a nice walk through the forest, and it's gonna be lovely, and we're getting scones for afternoon tea today
From the berry farm.
So we're very excited.
That was definitely one of the highs of this year, and it's like a specific moment that I can pinpoint, and every time I think back about it, I smile. We did go camping in the middle of winter because it was like their winter break from university, because it was like June, July, sometime around then. And so the weather was slightly questionable, especially at the start. There was like, if you watch my vlog, you would know there was like severe storm warnings.
There was a severe weather warning, so we were like, we should probably not camp because we're camping right now in Preverly. And so yesterday we just stayed at our friend's house, which is the footage you probably saw before.
So severe that we couldn't actually camp out the first night. We had to like take refuge in one of my friend's grandmother's house down there. So I think it was like, anyway, whatever. We had to go into a house and stay in a house for the first night. But the next 2 nights, was it 2 nights? Yeah, I think. The next 2 nights camping were so much fun. Despite the weather, we persevered, and then it turned into like pretty nice weather for the last couple of days. And yeah, that was really good and really nice to spend some quality time with my friends before I went to the other side of the world and not going to see them for ages. Okay, the next moment of 2020 was a low, and it wasn't a specific event, but it was just like my running training was not going well because I was struggling with very low iron, and also just because it wasn't going well. I have been so slow and I don't know what to do, and my legs, it's my legs that are my limiting factor. It's not like my breathing, it's like I'm not dying up here, but it's my legs. And I'm going to talk about my running and mental health and running and mental health and running in a video coming up very soon, because I've been doing a lot of thinking about it, and I have lots of things I'd like to share with you guys. And if you guys have been following my videos, you will know that I have some exciting health and fitness videos coming out in the new year. I need to start filming them. I haven't started filming them. Oh dear. Anyway, so I'm going to explain more about this in a future video dedicated purely to that. Basically, my training was not going well, and running makes me, when I'm running well, I'm really happy, and when I'm running not well, it makes me really sad. So I wasn't training well, and so I was really sad. So again, not really a specific event, but kind of just like training was not going well. And then it was partly because I was struggling with very low iron. My ferritin levels were 12, and then I had to have an iron infusion or transfusion. I never remember which one it is. One of those, I had iron put into me. That was actually just before I went camping. Oops, so I didn't do it in chronological order. Anyway, whatever. It was around the same time as I went camping, and I had the iron infusion, and then I started running better, but I still wasn't running great. And yeah, training was just not going all that well, and there weren't that many races because of COVID. But then races started up, and I remember there's a cross-country race vlog on my YouTube channel a couple of months ago. My first time ever running a 6-kilometer cross-country race. The baby capsicum. Apparently it's all around a 1-kilometer loop. Hey! Oh, we're going. You know what? Oh, I love that. They're embarrassed by me. If anyone's embarrassed, it should be myself. And I didn't run very well. Definitely not the best race I've run in my life. Probably one of the worst ones. And running was just going bad, so that was kind of like another drawn out low of 2020. My next high of 2020 was meeting Sarah. So Sarah, you guys will have seen in a couple. Oh, I still have that. Oh my gosh, I still have that video. I know Sarah's watching this, so I still have that video of us that we need to that I need to edit. Like, I still have all of the footage I need to edit. Well, I'm gonna edit it while I'm here in the Caribbean. So everybody, another video with Sarah will be coming out at some stage, because we filmed a video when I was in Perth. We made my slice up and we answered, like, we did a little Q&A. So that video will be coming out at some stage. So we put in 2 cups of oats.
Okay, liquid.
It's soft.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're thinking about this too much. Okay,
so now it just goes in the freezer. I just put it in the freezer for however long. You can take it out after an hour, but it's not going to be hard enough, so don't do that. Okay.
Favorite place to go when going out?
Bold of you to assume we go out. As in like, as a night out?
As a night out.
Because I can't say I've ever been on one of those.
I went on one night out.
Where did you go?
We went to the court.
That's Sarah's favourite place.
What? I haven't gone anywhere else.
But you guys will have seen her in a couple of my videos if you're watching them just before I left Australia, because I met Sarah through one of my friends who I went camping with. She's friends with Sarah, and Sarah had like discovered my YouTube videos, and so she watched some of my YouTube videos and she thought we had a lot in common. My friend who was friends with Sarah invited me to go with her to a prees that Sarah was having at her house, and then I met Sarah and we just became such good friends because we are like the same person. Like, we have so much in common. We look really similar. She's a swimmer, I'm a runner. We just, if you've watched my videos with her, you'll know we have so much in common.
Yeah,
honestly, I can do Charlie D'Amelio's, but just go. Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common.
No.
We do look similar. Yeah.
You don't need a man to be happy.
Exactly.
Mental breakdown pasta.
And she is the most lovely person, and I love her so much. I am so glad I met her. We've both lived in Perth for most of our lives, and we've never like met. Like, Perth is quite a small place, and we're the same. Like, we both went to agesssss schools, so like, I don't understand how we'd never met, but so glad that we met, and now we have such a special friendship. Okay, my next moment of 2020 was a low, and it was starting college, which is really unfortunate because normally that would be a high. But like, and it was really exciting for me, but then also as soon as I kind of like got into it, I was really struggling to study with that 12-hour time difference, and I also felt very distant from everyone because everyone was at Yale and they were on campus and they were meeting each other and making friends, and I just felt so distant from everyone. I felt like I didn't know anyone, and I was really struggling with the 12-hour time difference. It was making me so tired. Oh my god, well, I look really tired. Wow, fancy that. I was just really struggling mentally. It was not the best time for me. I was so tired, and I was feeling completely like not included in the community, because it's not like people were trying to exclude me, but I did just feel very distant and kind of not included, not on purpose. It's not like it's not anyone's fault, but it just like I wasn't there, so I couldn't really be included in most things, and I just felt really like I was torn between being so excited to start college and feeling very lucky to be at such an incredible educational institution, but it was also just a very less than ideal studying situation and a very less than ideal social situation. I cried so much during that month that I was studying from Perth. I was just tired. I was just not really that happy. I was just really, and I was also trying to get my visa sorted and trying to decide if I did want to try and go to campus, or if I was just going to stay in Australia and try and make it work. And it was just all very confusing, and there was so much going on, and I was trying to do college, and I was trying to do exams at 2 AM, and I was trying to meet people online. So that was definitely, that was a low of 2020. But then a high of 2020 was finally getting my visa and going to Yale. So a high of 2020 was definitely arriving at Yale. If you watched my vlogs of me going to Yale and moving into Yale, I was so excited. I'm about to go to Yale for the first time, my home for the next 4 years. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go check out and then I'm going to Yale. And it was incredible moving into campus and then getting to meet everyone, and I am so glad that I made the decision to come. I do think it was the right decision because my Yale experience improved so much once I got to campus and I met everyone. I loved meeting everyone. Everyone was so lovely, and being on the same time zone was absolutely incredible. And just being on campus to see all of the things that I'd only ever seen online on screens. I got to see the buildings that I'd only ever seen online. I got to see them in real life. I got to go into them. I got to meet people who I'd only ever seen on Zoom in real life. And I just remember how excited I was to move into Yale, and that feeling alone was like a high of 2020 because I was just so excited. My next moment of 2020 was a high, and it was gaining so many TikTok followers and YouTube subscribers, because you guys know YouTube is my absolute favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. And my growth, I've been doing YouTube for over 3 years, my growth had been very slow, and finally I had like a big jump in I mean, when I say big, relatively compared to other YouTubers, not really very big at all, but I did have a jump in YouTube subscribers, and I think I left Australia with like around 3,000 subscribers, and now we're closing out the year with almost 13,000 subscribers, and I have around like I think 93,000 followers on TikTok. So yeah, I started TikTok on my very first day of college, so I started TikTok not very long ago, and my videos just went viral on there, and that kind of helped with my YouTube subscriber growth. But yeah, YouTube is my #1 favorite platform. So after having very slow growth for the past few years and putting in so much effort to my videos, I have like 200 videos on my YouTube channel. I put in so much passion and effort into my videos. Really, to be honest, like the amount of subscribers I had did not, and to be honest, probably still does not reflect the amount of effort I put into my videos. Like I am so grateful for all of you. Let me tell you, so incredibly grateful for all of you. And 12,000 subscribers, like if I told myself when I started my YouTube channel that I would have 12,000 subscribers, I would be mind blown, and I am so happy and really content with this number. But having millions of subscribers would make me feel like I had less of a personal connection with them. Like most of you guys, the ones who comment on my videos regularly, I know you guys. Like I've had conversations with you. I know your names, I know where you're from, I know some of the things you enjoy, and I really value that. And I think the more and more subscribers that I get, the harder it will be to have those connections, and I value those connections so much. So I'm not complaining at all, but I'm just saying, especially in my first few years of my YouTube channel, I was putting so much effort into my videos and I was just getting like hardly any subscribers. So it was an absolutely amazing moment to finally like have a little bit of a jump in subscribers, to grow this community a little bit, and to be able to share my videos and my content with more people. So that just made me really happy because, like I said, YouTube is my favorite thing to do in the world. So to have more people kind of here and part of this community was really special for me. So that was definitely one of my highest highs in 2020. And I also never, like I think I said in April this year, my goal for this year is to get, or our goal for this year is to get to 10,000 subscribers. I did not think we would get 10,000. We were not anywhere near the growth rate that we would need to get 10,000. Like that was my massive, like really far away goal that I probably wouldn't reach, but you know, might as well aim for the moon, because even if you fall, you'll land among the stars, that kind of stuff. So that was like my moon goal. I did not think we would get there, but we did, and that is absolutely amazing. Like we actually reached our goal. How cool is that? So yeah, definitely a high of 2020. So those are 7 highs and we've done 6 lows. So now it's time for my last low. And my last low is one that I also want to film a whole separate video on, because I could talk about this. I actually might film a whole video on my mental health journey. I've been thinking about filming a video on my mental health journey for a long time. I've filmed it many times in my head. I remember in Perth, sometimes I would, when I was driving to training, I would literally say what I was gonna say in the video out loud, like as if I was filming it, but I was like in the car and I wasn't filming it. But trust me, this is a video that I've thought the most about filming of any of the videos I've ever filmed, but it's just quite like, there's things I have never told anybody about in this whole world. Like you guys would be the first ones to hear these things, the things that have gone on in my mental health in the past couple of years. It has been a massive journey, and nobody really knows about the things that I have gone through. So it would be quite a vulnerable, personal video for me to make. So I've just been like, Am I ready to share these things? So I would really like to, because I think my story and my journey could help people, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe if you guys give me some encouragement, that will give me the spark that I need to film that video. But yeah, anyway, so the last low of 2017, definitely not 2017, 2020 was my mental health in my first semester of college. So like I kind of mentioned before, my first month of college where I was studying Perth, my mental health was not great. Then I came to college, it improved a little bit, and then it went back downhill, and it's really complicated and hard to explain. My anxiety was so bad. My mental health was really up and down. Like I would be really happy, and then I'd be crying and really sad. And it was so up and down and so inconsistent that overall that inconsistency made it really bad, because like when you're so up and down, that's not good. Like it was not good. And I was really struggling with that. And I also, because I'd arrived late in the semester, I didn't really have close friends and I didn't really have anyone to really talk to about it. And I'm a very open person with pretty much everything. I have a YouTube channel. I've shared the past 3 years of my life very openly on this YouTube channel, but my mental health is something that I have always just kept to myself. It's probably the only thing I've kind of kept to myself, and I haven't, like, again, I'm a very open person, and I have a very good relationship with my parents. I tell my parents absolutely everything, but I've not told them I've barely scratched the surface with telling them about my mental health issues. Like, I've really not told them about anything at all. I've really told no one. So I have told no one. So if I filmed that video, you guys would be the first to know. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, that was kind of like a low point. And the past month and a bit, especially in college, have been really not good. Yeah, so I will film a whole separate video about my whole mental health journey. It kind of started in 2018, and then yeah, has been very all over the place. But yeah, let me know if that's a video you would like. But my last low moment of 2020 was just my mental health. It just wasn't great. And when your mental health is not great, that kind of then impacts. It has a flow-on effect to everything else in your life, because if up here isn't going well, then you know, that's with you all the time. So yeah, but I am definitely in a better place now. Am I in an amazing place? No. But I'm definitely in a much better place now that the semester is over. I am so happy about that, and it is a lovely, very relaxing place to be here in the Caribbean, so I'm very lucky to be here. And this was something that I really needed for my mental health, because if I had stayed at college, I think it would have just got worse. But now I've kind of like, I'm having a break from that environment, a complete break. I'm going to a kind of, this is like a stark opposite location to college. It's everything that college was not. They've quite, yeah, so it's been really good for my mental health, and I'm hoping that it will kind of like, I'll be able to reset it a little bit. And now that I'm thinking more and more about it, I really do want to film that mental health video. That would be a long video. That would be a long one. Oh my goodness, this has been a long one though as well, hasn't it? Has this been long? I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking for ages, so I should probably end the video. But yeah, maybe mental health video will come soon. Let me know if you want it. But yeah, those are my 7 high and 7 low moments of this year. Thank you so much to the person who suggested that I make this video. It was a really good one. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that it gave you a little bit more of a insight into how my year went overall. This year, it was just all over the place. Like, it was highs and lows, and like I went from doing lots of stuff at the start of the year with traveling and running to then doing nothing because of COVID, and then I found out that I was going to Yale, and so then I wasn't going to university in Australia, so then I had ages where I just wasn't at university and I didn't have a job, or I kind of had a job but not really, but I had a job for some of the time, but then I wasn't really doing anything that whole time, and then suddenly I started college, and then suddenly I went from doing nothing to doing everything, and I was doing college, and then I was trying to move to America, and then I moved to America, I moved to the other side of the world, and then wow. And now I'm on the other side of the world, and I'm probably going to be on this side of the world for ages because of COVID, so I won't be able to come back to Australia, and I haven't been able to see my dad in so long, and now I won't be able to see my friends and family in so long. But I got to spend a really good time with most of my friend and family when I was in Australia, when I had that period of time when I just wasn't doing anything this year. So it has been, whoa. It has been a year. It has indeed been a year. So I have this really exciting video of my 2021 year that I've been thinking of making for a long time, and I really want to make it, but it's going to take me ages to make, and going to take up a lot of storage on my laptop, and my laptop has literally no storage. So I really want, anyway, there could be this really cool video about my 2020 coming out at some stage, so look out for that, and that will kind of encompass more of the year. But these were kind of my 14 high and low moments of this year, so that kind of gave you an overview of the year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure if you're not subscribed to go and subscribe so that we can reach our 2021 subscriber goal of 100,000 subscribers. And if you are already subscribed, then please go and tell one person to subscribe to my channel. Make them get out their phone, open the YouTube app, and watch them click the subscribe button. And comment down below letting me know what you thought about this video, and let me know what, like, your high and low. Tell me your highest moment and your lowest moment of 2020 if you feel comfortable sharing those. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!